Welcome back. It's episode 3, your Hamptons real estate podcast, brought to you by Christie's International Real Estate Group. And today I cannot wait to open up the mic to my friend Brad Beyer. And the reason I'm doing so is because in every transaction, probably the most challenging moment of a deal is the inspection phase. Buy side and sell side, right? Sellers spooked of what they uncover, buyers hoping for either credits or a good clean house to get the deal done. But no deal gets done without an inspection, and Brad's been doing inspections for his whole life. No.
37.
How many years?
37
That's
years.
almost 4 decades. Okay. Brad Beyer. I'm introducing Brad Beyer, the world's greatest local East Hampton
Oh,
inspector.
heavens.
His brand is Buyer to Buyer, and he does almost everybody's inspection out here. So he's seen every house, he's seen everything, and his family has lived here for how many generations?
Since 1635.
1635.
So I think it's the 13th or 14th generation. I haven't checked in a while. I think I was 11th, but it's all on history records, so I could check it. But it's a long time. 1635 in Southampton.
Did you hear that? So I asked him before the pod came on about his historical legacy here, and he said, "I think I've been here."
You said, when did you move here? I said, no, we were here.
That's crazy.
And we're not here because we're wealthy. We're here because we were here first and we're broke.
That's not true. You had land. You had
Yeah,
land.
we had land. Had lots of land.
So you came out here, and then he said the only family before him was the Halls.
Might have been the Halseys.
With one generation earlier.
Possibly the Halseys and possibly the Corwiths.
The Corwiths
Yes.
and the Halseys.
Yeah, it's a long time.
That is
And it's pretty cool. And we're probably related to them because there was only so many people. I mean, how many places could you go?
No, you saw everything.
That's another great place in the 70s, Watermill, where the Watermill Center is now,
Yeah.
where Blockbuster was and all that stuff.
Yeah, I do know.
That was all. Middy's General Store was there. It was the first discotheque, if you want to call it. When you say discotheque in the 60s, let me tell you this.
What was it?
It had nothing to do with disco. Discotheque in the 60s was a place to go dance and hear rock and roll. And then it became, I mean, think 75, we put that bar together with Bobby Jones and Howie from Dylan's. Okay. They started a place called Tomfoolery on that same property. It was the Stone Balloon. And they had great bands come from Connecticut and come from the North Shore, come from all over. These great bands would come out there, and you would just go and pay a couple bucks for a beer.
Okay, hold on. So now we're talking, because why is it that the Rolling Stones played Memory Motel? Like,
Rolling Stones were that joint.
But I'm just thinking, what happened back then? You guys were like, Warhol was in Montauk.
Amyl nitrate happened back then.
What does that mean?
Oh, they would sit back then, they'd crack these little vials. And they say, oh, because those guys used to come into the Stone Balloon and Tomfoolery. But nobody cared.
Okay, hold on. So now we're moving. Now we go to Talk House.
Talk House, okay. I remember going to the Talk House before it was the Talk House, when it was just...
Nobody really knows anything. So tell us as if we know nothing. Walk us all the way back to, when did that start?
Talk House started in the 70s and became the Talk House in 89. It was a different thing. Everybody went out and everybody made sure that people got home.
I know.
Speaking of the Talk House.
I know. That one moved me.
Can you get on that shot?
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that?
I can see it perfectly. Actually, perfectly.
Okay, this is Stephen Talkhouse Farrell, whose descendants are still in Sag Harbor. Bobby Farrell, Freddie Farrell, Charlie Farrell, Teddy Farrell, David Farrell. They grew up, and their grandmother grew up, coincidentally, next door to my dad when my dad was young in Sag Harbor. This guy's ancestor, Stephen Talkhouse Farrell, don't forget, his ancestor was Chief Wyandanch.
Okay.
Chief Wyandanch met with my ancestor, Lion Gardner, Gardner's Island, through the Hildreths. Okay, connected?
Okay. Yep.
Met at Nat Peak Stretch, shook hands, and back then it wasn't even called, it was called the Proprietors. And they met together, Chief Wyandanch, who was Talkhouse's ancestor, and they exchanged the land of Nat Peak Harbor, and Montauk, and said...
All of Montauk?
In East Hampton Town, got it. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly the way it should be said.
Okay, got it.
But
I want to lose the Talk House thought.
Okay,
because
Talk House 70s.
Stay with there, but you wrote what on there? Give me those words. Like,
Oh, this is
because we're jumping ahead, but you guys, this is important. Brad is not only a really cool inspector, and I love the fact that he does what he does, but look at the art, right? Not only is it a beautiful piece, but there's messages in
Can
here.
you see that? Is that okay?
Really beautiful messages in there. Nice.
This is all locals. All these names are 500 different acts that have played there. In the 70s, it was just a bar, and you had a jukebox up until maybe 88. Cliff Black, my good friend, who's up here in the eyebrow, he was the first guy to play because his mom is part owner, and Cliff, they have part of that with Peter. So they're all related. So he was the first guy that played, the first national act that played there, somebody that more people would know than a local guy. Cliff grew up in Westbury, was John Hammond, the great blues player. So everything.
No question. Hold on. So when did you move from music to art, or do you just keep doing both? Okay, so you're still doing both. When did you start drawing? Yeah. When did you start doodling?
That's a good. This is
How old were you when you drew those two?
This is 73. That's 21. 21.
Both those pieces were 21?
This is 72. This is 73. And then I didn't draw for 40 something years.
Oh, come on.
40 years between that and this.
Oh, no kidding.
This was done for my brother for his birthday. His 2014.
With the same methodology and words. So when did you have
this is just, this is pure chalk.
I understand. But when did you move into art with the words?
2014.
Who had that thought?
Me.
It's really cool.
I thought about it for 3 years.
It's really cool.
I wanted
it's like pointillism.
Yeah, I wanted to do something different than just doing a chalk.
I get it.
Anybody can do that. I said, I want to do something, and inside his eye it says, imagine, because that's how John saw the world through his eye. He imagined a world in his eye. Everybody sees things differently, and that's where I started, right there. And I built the eye, and I said, holy crap, I think I'm onto something here. And then I left it, on my wife's suggestion, I left it empty and incomplete like his life. He's only 40 years old. He didn't get a chance.
Is that an original? Did you sell that?
Oh yeah, my brother has the original because it was for his birthday.
So that's your first ever piece?
This was my first piece.
That's awesome.
Since this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got it as a birthday deal because he and I went through the whole rock and roll thing together. You know.
What year was this, Lennon?
This is 2014, July.
14, you start getting artistic. Okay,
I got back to it because I was so busy building the business.
Sure.
So we'll go through this later, but up until the time I left for Houston in 79, I guess most of the places I played then was Bridgehampton, and I played with my brother and two other Beyer boys, Johnny and Jimmy, and we call ourselves the Beyer Brothers. The Sandbar down in Sag Harbor, which is now Page. That place used to rock.
So American Hotel and Sandbar, you could go back and forth.
I was the first music act in the corner bar. I think I was the first.
Was it corner bar?
Yeah,
so those are three different music.
He went to school with me. Jimmy Smythe, he's a great guy. We put a piano in there. I think I was one of the first solo acts to play in there on the piano. And then the Sandbar. I was going back at Salty Dog all the time. I was over there for a lot of different things. Then I went to Houston, came back in 85, started working. And then I went to Bobby Van's again and still did stuff at the Salty Dog. And then I ended up John's Harbor Inn in the 90s.
You have to go, right?
He's
got to go inspect the house. Yeah. And ultimately I could do this for 3 hours. But I want to end this section with two things. One is check his art out next to him. All the art is written with thoughts or bands or
musical history,
lyrics.
Personal history, quotes, stuff that you really got to do a deep dive on each subject. We could spend 40 minutes talking about that. It's his bass.
You can see it.
Obviously, Paul McCartney, you look at him, where's the Hofner bass? That's what we picture of him. That's what we saw him with on Ed Sullivan. He had 4 of these Hofner basses. Each string tells the story of each bass that he had from here all the way up to here, and you can actually read it. It says where he got it, what happened to it. When I did this drawing, he still was missing the original 61 bass that got stolen. And he got it back after 50 years. That's another, there's too many stories.
That's a good one though. Okay.
So he took Stu's guitar, and being lefty, it looked ridiculous. No. So he was playing in Germany, goes to the Steinway music store in Germany, and he sees this violin-shaped deal. The guy's brilliant. He looks at it, he goes upside down or sideways. It looks, whether it's lefty or righty. That's the whole key.
Got it.
He looked at it, how much you want for that? It was like $35 at the time. The most famous bass in the world. $35. And he played the hell out of it. He bought another one in 63 because he used this so much. So that's the fun of it. And then you got to find a tricky little thing to say, what are you going to call it? That great song, Maybe I'm Amazed. Hey, maybe we're all amazed. How can one man do all this? Movies, books, records, songs, on and on and on. So all this is filled, everything here applies to him. And this is him older, and this is him younger. So this was a lot of fun. I want to.
That's brilliant.
I want to get.
That was really, really good. Thank you for that. That was awesome.
I got to go.
Hold on. You want to get that to him? Is that what you said?
Oh, I'd love to get that to him. I'd love him just to see it, and just so I could say, me, like millions of others, you changed our lives, and you're still with us. You're still doing it. He's still freaking doing it.
I know. Brilliant.
And it's still joyous.
Looks younger than ever.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I know.
But I would love to see that, because that's his whole life right there. That's everything. And I don't think he probably got a million pieces of art, but I know he doesn't have something like that.
No, I agree, and I love that. Well, let's wrap with this. Will you help us throw an event here? Maybe play the piano a bit and put the art up, and then we could do a little gig?
I got 75 pieces now.
Okay, good. Then we'll leave it with, I'll post your QR code. I'll get you access to what you got, but we'll throw a little gig here. We'll find some way to get you here and make it happen.
I'm 3 minutes
This is
away.
really fun. That's what I thought.
Good.
Are we good here? We can just wrap, right? Don't you think?
I hate to go.
Right now, no, you got to go. That was amazing. You guys, thanks so much. That was Brad Beyer. He's actually got an amazing inspection company. However, Trevor is going to be taking it over. And the reason I'm saying this is because Trevor is just as ethical and upstanding as Brad. So you're in good hands.
Maybe more.
No, you're both amazing, salt of the earth people. I trust you both. And I want to make sure everybody knows that as Brad transitions out, Trevor's got your back. And either way, you're going to Brad and he's going to mentor
I wouldn't
Trevor.
do it. If I couldn't find someone like him, I wouldn't do it, because I wouldn't want somebody to think he just sloughed it off. No, I worked too hard to build a brand and a name. We used to have 8 people back in the day. We used to do 80 to 120 houses a month. And you know what that takes. 80, 120 houses a month before Instagram, before all this stuff.
That's crazy.
Did it by hand. Forget about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Peace.
We'll see you again.
Discover a life less ordinary. Your world perfected. Discover yours at christiesrealestate.com.